Good morning, Clearbranch kids. I hope you guys are having a wonderful month. Well, today we're wrapping up our month-long focus on integrity. So if I need to remind you about what integrity is, it's choosing to be truthful in everything and whatever we say and do. So today, as we close out our month, we're going to hear from the Apostle Paul from the book of Philippians. Now, you may remember that Paul helped start many churches, and he would go there and preach, and as new believers began to group together, he would help them start a church, and he'd stay there for a little while and help them to get settled, and then he'd have to move on to the next area. You may also remember that Paul spent quite a bit of time imprisoned because the leaders didn't like the things that he was teaching the people about God's love and about what Jesus had done for them. So Paul, because he was always tied up somewhere, and then also travel was difficult and very slow, would write letters so that he could stay in touch with the believers in the church that he had helped to plant. Now, Philippians is just one of those. It's a collection of letters that he wrote to the believers at the church of Philippi. Now, he would write letters for many reasons, sometimes just to stay in touch, other times to kind of advise them about things, or sometimes to correct, and then many times also to just simply encourage. And the believers in the church of Philippi were really doing a great job. They were working together, they were loving each other, they were loving the people in the community and the city around them. And so in this particular letter, Paul was commending them for that, but then he also wanted to encourage them to continue on that path. He wanted them to continue to growing in their peace and love in Jesus. And so at this time, like I said, he commended them in that, and then he said, I want you to continue to focus not just your actions, but also your mind and your thoughts on things that were noble and right and pure and things that were worthy of respect. Because Paul knew, like what many of us may have learned just through our own actions, that if we fill our minds and our thoughts constantly with things that are good, if we're focusing on God, if we're reading God's word and we're praying and we're surrounding ourselves with people who help us grow as good people and as Christians, there's not room for bad thoughts and bad actions to take hold. And so he wanted to encourage them to take control of their thoughts and their minds in that way and to focus on those things that were good and right, true and noble and worthy of respect. So, like I said, he encouraged them to do that, and he was trying to tell them that they would continue to do that they would grow in their walk with God, and they would be closer to him day by day. Now, kids, we can do that too. And so that is our bottom line for this week. Focus on what is true.